plus one for this community. Yes, plus 1,000 for this community. It's an awesome, awesome community. And a question for Dan, as a strategic advisor, what problems needs to be solved for our organizations to be more competitive? Well, are two main things, and one is as I always said, and I said it many, many times, more commercial adoption. We need more commercial adoption. That is the reason why I started Zengate, to bring this commercial adoption, to be able to be proactive in this. But I cannot do it alone. We need to do it on a massive scale. I know it's already being done. We just need more. We just need more commercial adoption. I think Ergo is ready. Ergo is pumped. Ergo is has a lot of value to offer for commercial adopters. So there's no reason for more people not to build businesses on top of Ergo, and to streamline more commercial adoption of Ergo. I would say that well, I wouldn't call it a problem. I would say that a challenge that I have faced with Ergo as an ecosystem is to kind of have more focused workflows, because pretty much everybody does it out of love. And what happens when you do that, a lot of people just kind of do what they want to do, and that is great. But our ecosystem is not that big. So it's not easy to really say, okay, so all these people can do their thing, and that's cool, but this group of people needs to follow a specific pathway that would accelerate the system. And we do have the core team constantly pushing out updates. We have, say, the Rosenbridge team creating this awesome software stack. We have other really, we get Delphi team. But again, I'm just trying to put more order without centralizing things, because that's one thing I don't want to do, is centralize anything, but I want to have more organization without centralization. And another, I guess, challenge which we're going to overcome, guys, is a lot of Ergonauts are shy. You guys are shy. You guys just want to sit there and build, and that is awesome. But we need to go out and meet people, guys. We need to be out there meeting people. I know it's not everybody. I know some people are like, well, what about me? I'm not shy. I'm not saying everybody's like that, but I just noticed a lot of people are like that. They create really cool stuff. They know a lot. They have a lot to say, but where they're just they kind of they are behind in a non-handle. Again, nothing wrong with that, but I'm just saying we have a lot of that. Like, for example, I'm trying to get people out to this convention, and I thought it would be easier. I thought it would be easier to convince people, because it's just such a low cost of entry into this, and we negotiated really great deals with them, and they're very, very bullish on Ergo, the organizers. And I still have to kind of convince people. It's like, come on, you need to be there. This is your chance to show off what you have. Like, oh, I don't know, maybe I'll just come around, I'll just hang out, but I don't know. I'm like, just come, just show off your stuff. You have great stuff. And this is, it's not one conversation I'm pointing to. I mean, I had several of these conversations already, and you guys know who you are. But we just kind of need to get past the shyness and start really being proactive about going out there, especially now that we're past the whole COVID thing. Just going out there and interacting with people and really showing them what Ergo is about. Yeah, that's I mean that's about it. That's about it for me. Do you, Joe, want to add anything? I mean, from your perspective, what do you think is
All
kind of challenging about the system?
one of the things that Dan said to me initially that I still think is quite just funny is he said, Joe, when I look at the Ergo ecosystem, it's like the smart kid in the back of the room that can't get a girlfriend.
It's kind of true though, you know. I
I
mean,
love
look, we'll get you sorted, we'll get you a really nice girl, okay? But yeah,
it.
you need to come out of your shell.
Now, from like a development perspective, because I know David, is pretty active in that sense. Ultimately, I do think that blockchains will just ultimately become kind of like a back end system, right? And we're still figuring out the functionality and full use case of what that back end is capable of. And like to developers, if it's immutable and, once you spin up the logic, it kind of runs itself without needing too much maintenance. And it has a built-in user base. It has a built-in system of account, system of tracking. There's a huge use case for that. So I do think that ultimately, in the long arc, the backend, will be like any other backend, and it'll kind of fade away from the front end users' awareness or even perspective of what backend they're interacting with. But we need, to really explore the functionality and the scalability of that backend in order to support that type of adoption. So to some degree, like the longer arc to really see adoption of blockchain technology, in my opinion, is kind of silent and I don't know. Let's just say nerdy, Dan. But yeah, in terms of like the crypto market and adoption as it is, we could definitely grow in market perspective and market access.
Yeah, well, look, you are right from the technology side, but you know that blockchain and crypto are special like that. People come for the community as well as for the tech, and our community is awesome. But some people just want more interaction. I think that if we have more interaction, if we have, we get Ergo out of its shell and send it to a few parties and maybe get it a little drunk, it will do song and dance for us, Joe, and attract new miners. You'll see, Joe. We'll dance for miners, and then they're gonna be like, all right, guys, we're spending $1 million mining Ethereum, but screw it.
You mean miners like the blockchain, Dan? You're gonna get me in trouble. Dance for miners.
Yeah, no, I said miners, not miners. Yeah, me and Joe were having this conversation before we started filming. It's some of you might know this movie from back in the '90s called Galaxy Quest. It was a satire on Star Trek, and there's this part, where they're near a mine, and these little aliens come out, and then one of the guys is like, "That must be the miners," and then Tony Shalhoub says, "Yeah, they look like they're like 12 years old," and Alan Rickman says, I said miners, not miners. Anyway, that's